Work, the tool for fulfillment of your calling. Work, the tool for fulfillment of your calling. Work, the tool for fulfillment of your calling. I want us to take a time to think and ask ourselves some questions as far as work is concerned. What is your understanding of work? What is your understanding of work? A tool for fulfillment of your calling. To fulfill your mandate on the earth, you must be able to recognize the need of hard work. The need of hard work. In the stadium of life, you are either a player or a spectator. You are either a player or a spectator. Without hard work, you will remain a spectator. And only 5% of people in the world are players and actors. Others are spectators. Others are spectators. Why? Because many have not given themselves to work. And when I say work, it's more of mental work and less of physical work. It's more of mental work and less of physical work. Work was not created for salary. Work was not created for survival. God gave them work in the Garden of Eden to enable them to fulfill their mandate. So the essence of the work is to help them fulfill their mandate. The mindset of God is to send different people to the earth to cultivate it and make it to be like heaven. That's why Jesus said, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on the earth. All of us have an area we are to develop for him while on the earth. No human being is sent here on earth to go and get a job and earn a salary. Getting a job and earning a salary is a way of getting prepared for what we are supposed to do. But that should not be done for the rest of our lives. It should be done for a time in preparation for what we ultimately want to do. If we spend all our lives on a job and salary, we won't be able to contribute our own quota for the advancement of mankind. We will never be able to fulfill our calling. So all of us have a particular area. Your first assignment on the earth is to develop yourself, having discovered yourself. While the second assignment of the earth, first is to discover and then develop in order to deploy it to bless your world. Once you discover your area of gifting or calling, and hence area of gifting or career and calling, then determine your area of influence. Which sector, which area of influence. There are different areas of influence in our world, from finance and business, to religion, to art and culture. There are about 7 of them. Is that what? Education, entertainment, health, media. Which of these do you think, and even family life, which of these do you think is your own sector or segment? That should be the territory where you have to begin to operate. Someone call it your promised land. Your promised land. You have already been sent forth. You don't need to be ordained to operate in this area of calling. Just find a mentor and get into your calling. Find a mentor. Find a mentor. That was one of the biggest mistakes I made when I left Diamond Bank. Find a mentor. I will emphasize that. Find someone that is doing what you want to do that can assist you. Or someone that is doing something related or doing business. If it's a business. If it's an NGO, find someone already doing something related in NGO. Find someone. Find a mentor. Please find a mentor. Don't do it yourself. Don't just, no matter how small, there's something someone else can add to what you are doing. There's something, there's space here. There's something someone else can add to what you are doing. There is something someone else can add to what you are doing. There is something, that wisdom of that person, don't discount it. Don't discount it. Don't discount it. Don't discount it. You might need to pay in some cases, but don't discount it. Your gift of work from God is to be used. It's not to be used to earn a salary and make money. It's to be used to fulfill your purpose for which you are sent here. So whatever you are sent here to do is your assignment, no matter the type of work it is. Sometimes it might be mundane, like I said earlier. Maybe it's cleaning. So it appears mundane. There are many characters of scriptures that were sent to the earth who were able to work hard to fulfill their God-given mandate while they were on the earth. The hard work of Joseph brought about fulfillment of his God-given mandate in the land of Egypt. It is believed that pyramid of Egypt, the technology of which is lost on us today, came out of the hard work of Joseph in Egypt. This was believed to preserve grain for 14 years. The 7 year of plenty, the 7 year of famine. It is only through hard work that you could fulfill your destiny. It is a blessing from God to fulfill your mandate. Work is a blessing. People have defined work in different ways. We have a very wrong understanding of what work should be all about. And that wrong understanding is not making us to be our best in the world. Not understand the fact that it's work that will help us to even discover ourselves. As in, work help you to discover ourselves. It's like the food is making some of us to be heavy. Yes, because, anytime you're awake, your eyes, for you to see, you need energy. So the reason why you feel sleepy when you're tired is because you don't have enough energy again. And when you don't have enough energy, the body naturally shuts down to recuperate, to generate more energy. So that when you wake up, you have enough energy. Yes, I'm ready to go. Immediately you're exhausted again, the body says it's time to sleep. So whether you like it or not, you sleep. So if you're able to overcome when that sleep comes, don't worry. Immediately you overcome it, you do. Then the sleep will come again. You get to a point, the sleep can call you. You might be going like this. It's called sleepwalking. When I was with Diamond Bank, my first 1.5 years in banking, I was on night shift. So I have a friend, one day we finished working. So we're going home. He was alone in the car. He was on third mainland. And he was sleeping. He said, he cried that day. He said he would have entered the water. He said, the car was already going to the water. He's just about to hit the wall when he woke up. He just do like this. It was in the morning. We leave office around 6 a.m. and it was coming from Ireland. So there was the traffic was slow. Of course, it would have hit another car. No, sleep is powerful. But the body is responding that you need to rest. That basically. So, but when you finish eating, what makes you to sleep? Not because you are tired, it's because the brain does not have enough energy to keep you awake. Because the blood is needed somewhere to work, to absorb the. And some people open. I know, but some of them are seeing anything. They're not seeing anything now.
Yeah,
They're not seeing anything.
was very,
Uh, in Yoruba land, they said they are hunter. Oh, surely, yes. Okay, go ahead.
how does this work out for those that are blind?
No, they are blind. They don't even know there's something called blindness. You are the one that call it blindness. Because they were blind, especially if you are blind from birth. There's in their reality, there's nothing like blind. You know Cobans. Cobans reality, there's nothing like you are the one that think blindness. So that's the danger of being able to see. You need to be, you are not focused because your eye distracts you. He is naturally focused. No, but she said as human being, you're not focused now. If you hear anything now, you want to see what's that? Your eye distracts you. Eh? No, Jesus said, if your eye offends you, plug it out. Plug it out. Now, I'm telling you what you want to hear. I'm telling you what you want to hear. All right, let's come back. There are many characters in scriptures, like I said. So we also have a character like Joseph. If Joseph had been very lazy, God will not have been able to depend on him for the deliverance of the patriarch. Joseph worked very hard in all areas of work. He worked physically, mentally, and spiritually. And those are three major areas of work. Joseph will have frustrated the grace of God on his life. You know, Paul said, I want to open that scripture before I read it. Oh, no, that's not the one I'm looking for. He said, by the grace of God, I am what I am. His grace, which was upon me, was not in vain, but I labored more abundantly than they all. Yet not I, but the grace of God which was given to me. And talking about what he quoted in Galatians 2:29, he says, I do not frustrate the grace of God. I do not frustrate the grace of God. We actually frustrate the grace of God upon our life when we are lazy. So the grace is available, but we frustrate it. So the grace becomes useless and fruitless because it is not matched with work. When you look at the work ethics of Jesus, and Jesus is our perfect theology, there is no way we can be lazy. There's no way. Being lazy is a sign that you don't even understand and have an idea of the work ethic of Jesus Christ. So you can't afford to be lazy. Because when you are lazy, you frustrate the grace of God upon your life. Joseph would have done that. Joseph would have done that. Joseph was so hardworking and diligent. Everywhere he goes, he automatically becomes supervisor, manager, leader. Why? He works hard. When you work hard, you make yourself better. The more you work, the luckier you get. The harder you work, the luckier you get. The harder you work, the luckier you get. We cannot fulfill our mandate. We cannot achieve, fulfill our area of calling if we are lazy and we are not very hard working. Yes, God showed up for Joseph, but he needed to do the work in order to convert what he has received in the spirit into physical relevance on the earth. So that means I can even receive ideas, and that idea will be useless because I cannot convert it. Noah receives the direction, the idea, but he needs to work for the heart to come into manifestation. And he worked for how many years? How many years? 120 years. Someone say 40. 120 was working to build the ark. To build the ark. But he received the idea. But to make it materialize. Now, what does that tell you? Look at what that tells you. God gave him the assignment, right? God gave him the assignment, right? God gave him the assignment. But to fulfill that assignment, he needs to what? Work. And he worked for how many years? God even gave him measurement. You know, I don't know, go and read that. He gave him the type of wood. He gave him the dimension. And he has to work to bring it into reality. To bring it into reality, he has to work. That tells you that I can receive ideas, great ideas, breakthrough ideas, but it will remain idea. Because no idea will work until you do the work. No idea will work until you do the work. So I can receive the idea, but if I'm unable to do the work, nothing will work. Nothing will work. Do you know that? Now, let me talk about ministry because of Pastor Adejo. You know, some research, this is research work on churches, that churches cease to grow at a level because if what you are doing that gave you 100, you can't do it to get 200. What you are doing to get 200, you can't do it to get 300. You need system and structure to grow any endeavor in life, in business, and in ministry. To grow any endeavor in life, in business, and in ministry. So if it's going to grow, there must be system and structure. System is made up of processes and people. 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 People to do the work. Because church is a kingdom business. It's a business. Only that it's a business, it's like a non-for-profit business. In the sense that the result or the profit is the source won into the kingdom. Even though it has changed for some people now. It's about the amount of money made. The amount of money made. So, and that requires a lot of work. There is nothing that grows without work. And work is a gift. It's a gift that makes you to discover yourself. The only way you get to know you can do it is if you try to do it. So the more you work, the better you get. And when I'm saying working, it involves mental work. It involves spiritual work, and it could be involving physical work, but it's more of mental work. Mental work will mean learning and thinking and learning and thinking and learning and thinking and doing and implementing. But the learning and thinking is more than the doing. The learning and thinking is more than the doing. The learning and thinking is more than the doing. The learning and thinking is more than the doing. God, the learning and thinking is what should dictate what should be done. So God showed up for Joseph, but he needs to go to work in order to convert what he has received in the spirit to physical relevance. He needs to convert. So one of the things we must learn is conversion. Conversion of spiritual reality in the physical manifestation. Conversion of spiritual reality in the physical manifestation. The tool for converting spiritual reality to physical manifestation is work. The tool for converting spiritual reality to physical manifestation is work. And a good example is Noah. And a good example also is Bezalel and Moses in constructing tabernacle. And God gave description, very detailed description. Very, very, very detailed description. But to bring it into reality, work must be done. Daniel is another example that fulfilled his mandate through hard work. Hard work made him to be a top official. Do you know, Daniel is a very important example for me. That's why I said, when we said we don't want to be involved in policies as Christians, you know what we are doing? We are allowing non-believers to determine our faith. So they make a law in Nigeria, and they pass the bill into law until they start implementing the law about it. They tell us you must do 10 years and retire. You didn't aware? Oh, you didn't? How many of you did not know? No, but the law is still there. The law is in Nigeria. They have not abrogated the law. They only suspend the execution. Another president can wake up tomorrow and say, no, we have to go back. This is our law. We have to. I said, they made a law in Nigeria that you must, after 10 years, retire. Any enterprise, 10 years, retire. It's a law. It's a law in Nigeria. So forget about that. I'm basically saying that thing, normally for the people to become law, there will be first reading, there will be second reading, there will be public, what they call it, public hearing, all that happen. We are now aware. Because we are not in the know. We stand away from politics. Say what? Christian and in their house, they say their business, they affect them. If you don't affect their own, they affect them. They don't care. This guy there for you. They don't care for you. They are there for themselves. So they don't care. I'm basically saying that Daniel was a fantastic politician. So if you are called into politics, you can't decline. Now, Nigerian church now know we can't talk against politics again. It's obvious. Some pastors are telling their members to join. And what I do is to mentor our people to join and guide them on how to do it better. Because if you stay away, unbelievers will tell us tomorrow we can't go to church. And if you go, they will arrest you. They will arrest you. So we are not going to divide our faith. Because you are not away. There's some things we do, and we think we are trying to be. We believe there is evil in politics, but there is evil in business. Never can miss anything. We can't run away from it because it is politics. If it's dirty, then let's organize ourselves and clean it up. Let's organize ourselves and clean it up. Rather than running away from it. Because running away from it, they determine the way you live. I don't understand. They determine the way you live. They tell you you can't do it. If you do it, they will arrest you. And they will throw you to jail, and nothing will happen. Like also. No, but sincerely. And I'm happy we are coming to terms with that. We are coming to terms with that seriously. But where I'm going is that Daniel was so good. It's called what, there's something called IG. Or any government in power. That's Daniel. Daniel, 3 kings hired him as a minister to work for them. He was that good. He was that good. He was that good. So if he's that good and he was hired by 3 successive kings, so and there are people like that in this country, politicians, they work for this, they work for this. There's a particular man, they call it IG. Any place now, any government in power. Because any government in power, they were hiring with one of their ministers. Let me tell you now. Let me not tell you the challenge here. Let me tell you the challenge here. Let me tell you the challenge here. We have stayed away from politics. We have stayed away from politics. So he doesn't have enough say. Because in politics, it's a game of numbers. If we are more, we will build more influence. If you are few, they will vote you out. So you don't have a say. You don't have a say. You don't have a say. But Daniel was so good. He was hired by 3 successive governments. Daniel was a great example that fulfilled his mandate through hard work. And this made him to be able to work as top officials of 3 successive governments in Babylon. He got all the wisdom he needed from Babylon, and use them to fulfill the calling of God on his life in a strange land. He worked so hard that he was able to be the best and outstanding among his peers. Moses also fulfilled his destiny through hard work. Even though he was brought up in luxury, he worked very hard for 40 years, learning shepherding, preparing for a great destiny. He needed to work hard in the wilderness in order to be able to prepare for the job of shepherding the children of Israel in the wilderness. The widow was asked to go and borrow vessels. Borrow not a few. She got as many vessels as she could borrow. Her hard work determined the grace that was available to her in form of miracle oil. Her hard work in borrowing as many vessels as possible determined the grace that was available to her in form of miracle oil. Her hard work. If he has borrowed 100, he will get 100 keg of 100 pot of oil. If he has borrowed 1,000, he will get 1,000 pot of oil. The level of hard work determines the level of miracle available for him to have that oil. Hard work is so critical and so important in our life, we cannot afford to underrate it. But it becomes interesting when it's in our area of calling. Another fantastic example in the Christian ministry is Paul the Apostle. Paul the Apostle. He made believers know that laziness frustrates the grace of God upon your life. He said the grace of God upon me was not in vain. That means I can have grace and my life will be in shambles. Genesis chapter 1, verse 2, it says, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God is what? Moving. So it's possible for the Spirit of God to be moving in the life of an individual, and his life can be full of void. His life can be disorganized. His life can have no direction. He can be a frustrated human being, and the grace of God is available. Holy Ghost baptized, tongue speaking, born again Christian, living a good, righteous life. But because of hard work, the Holy Ghost is there. He said earth was without form and void, even though the Holy Ghost was there. And God had to do the work for the earth to take shape. Ladies and gentlemen, we can frustrate the grace of God upon our life when we are not working hard, even when we have discovered our area of calling. We can frustrate the grace of God upon our lives. And what we must not do. Now, if you are frustrating the grace of God and you are praying, you are wasting your time. Because you are frustrating the grace of God already. So your prayer is pointless. Entirely pointless. Because the grace is available for you too, but you're not using it. Why? Laziness. He said, a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of hands to sleep. So shall your poverty come as the one that travels. And he said, the want as armed man, the want is like armed robber. Because of what? Laziness. It's the Bible that said that. He said, some people are wasting the grace of God upon their life through laziness and indolence. If you are not working between 14 to 16 hours a day, you are not ready yet. If you are not working between 14 to 16 hours a day, you are not ready yet.
So I think it depends on your area of concentration. Now get me right. So let me explain now. If you are working in the wrong direction, you are just wasting time.
Remember, it is assumed you have discovered your area of calling. And you are now working in that area. It is assumed already. It's assumed already. And I'm saying, if you want to get to the peak and dominate that area of calling, you must be working 14 to 16 hours a day. 14 to 16 hours a day. 14 to 16 hours a day.
That means you are supposed to a stage where you are just doing one thing, and that's everything.
Everything you do is around the same thing. Everything you do is around the same thing. So I'm doing everything around the same focus. So I'm learning this is because of it. I'm doing this is because of it. Everything I'm doing is around the same thing. Do you understand what I mean? Everything I'm doing is around the same thing. I believe I'm called to be a singer. So I'm learning music. I'm learning how to write songs. I'm learning piano. As in everything I'm doing is around the same objective and the same focus. The more you work, the luckier you become. You know why? He said time and chance happened to them all. Chance is what? Luck. The more you work, the luckier you get. Because you are the only one that will be able to be ready for the opportunity. The opportunity will show up, but you will be the only one that will be ready. When the opportunity shows up, you'll be the only one that will be ready. If you are not working for 8 to 16 hours a day in your ministry or destiny, you are not working at all. And you are not likely to fulfill your calling on the earth. Probably just crashing the surface. Now, someone said, for those of us in the education sector, now that we are on holiday, are we still to work for this now? Is that the question, have you discovered your area of calling and you have a vision of what you achieve in that sector? When you have a vision of what you achieve in that sector, that's what determines your work. So when you're saying education sector, are you just a teacher? You might be a teacher. What do you want to just be a teacher? So I'm called to be a teacher. So what kind of teacher? What do I want to achieve in teaching? I must have a vision in my area of calling. So God has given me, I believe this is my area of calling. So what do I want to achieve there? That's determined by me. How much do I think I want to achieve there? We did this last year when we were discussing planning your life for the next 20 years. For those that are not around, the audio is available on SoundCloud. For you to be able to plan. So you should be able to say, okay, in my lifetime, I want to reach 1 million people, 2 million people, 5 million people, 10 million people. What will I be doing daily to achieve that objective? So if you're in the education sector, the question is, what is your vision? If you believe you are called into that sector, you can be in the education sector and you are focusing on children. Like the lady on day one, Ruth, that said she's called, she believes she's called to children now. Look at Ruth. To deliver value to children, to teach them value. So you can say in a lifetime, you want to reach to 1 million children. 1 million children. So, and it's now developing ourselves, using technology, using different means to be able to reach that number and working hard every day. If you are not working 14 to 16 hours in your area of calling, you are not likely going to achieve it. Unless your goal is very small. In order to let the grace of God in your life not to be in vain, you must be working very hard. Every creation of God was sent here with a measure of grace and gift. There is a general grace for both believer and non-believer. But believers have greater grace. But it is possible to waste this grace of God on your life. And this happens when you are waiting for miracle instead of working hard. This happens when you are waiting for miracle instead of working hard. You waste the grace upon your life when you are waiting for first and second confirmation. I've gotten the first confirmation. I'm waiting for the second confirmation. Waiting for first and second confirmation. Paul was able to surpass the disciples that were physically present with Jesus in terms of performance because of his labor. He said, I labor more abundantly than they all. Paul did not fold his arms saying one day of favor is higher than many years of labor. He said, if Paul labor, we cannot say he has no grace. That's why he's laboring, or he's under a curse. Because some lazy Christians often say it is curse that's making people to work. He became the first apostle through work, such that he overtook other apostles, even though he never saw Jesus physically when Jesus was on earth. If you don't work hard in your life, nothing will work. Can you say boldly right now that you're working hard? Now, harder now than many other people in your field. Whatever the field you are in right now, ask yourself right now, whatever field you are in right now, can you say that you're working harder than any other person in your field, not in the world or in Nigeria? Can you say you're working harder than any other person that is doing what you are doing? Despite the grace on the life of Paul, the apostle, he was working very hard, and that was why he was able to fulfill the mandate of God upon his life. It is through hard work that you will be able to fulfill the mandate of God upon your life. You need to work hard for the grace of God to be effective in your life. You need to work hard. There is no human being in the world or in the Bible that fulfill their destiny without hard work. None. Even in our contemporary times. The purpose of work is not for salary, it's not for survival. It is designed for the fulfillment in life and fulfillment of purpose. Work is not a way of rewarding know-how, but rather where one receives knowledge. Work also helps you to unearth, open up the treasure that is hidden in you. Work unearthed the bulb for us. The bulb was hidden in Thomas Edison, but working opened it up for us to see. Electricity was hidden in Faraday. Work unveiled it. Affordable car was hidden in Henry Ford. Work unveiled it. Microcomputer was hidden in Bill Gates. Work unveiled it. Apple and iPhone were hidden in Steve Jobs. Work unveiled it. What will work unveil in you in your lifetime? What will work unveil in you? Be rest assured, you are as blessed as these guys. You are as blessed as these guys with skill and competence, with what it takes and know-how. Just as precious stone and metal are buried inside the earth, so also is great value buried inside you. To bring out those precious metals, we begin to excavate, we work, and begin to dig, 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 and begin to dig. We continue digging and digging and digging and digging and digging and digging until we hit the precious metal. But it was buried, but what brings it out? It was buried, but what brings it out? There are a lot of treasure buried in you, ladies and gentlemen. It's only work that can bring it out. There are a lot of treasure buried in you. It's only work that can bring it out. Yes. Why does it have to be buried? Everything good and precious is not available freely. If it's available freely, it becomes valueless, like sand. Because it is precious, it's buried. For it to be on earth. So when you work on earth, it is more appreciated. You won't know the value, you won't appreciate the value, and you throw it away and throw it to the trash if you did not work together. That is why those that win lottery in 2 years, they are back to square one. Because it's not them that brought it out, it was given to them. The same people that have inheritance. That's why most that inherit wealth, they don't go great as their parents. Because what they became, or what they have become, is not what they unearthed themselves, but rather was given to them. In fact, it kills creativity. It kills creativity. So you have to be buried to be precious. And work to unearth it, develop you also. Work is an opportunity for human development, for human advancement. There are many things you don't even know you can do in life until you attempt to do it. You know, sometimes I'll finish doing some work. When I finish, I'll be asking myself, how did I even come about this? I'm serious. I'll be asking, how did I even come about this? And the more you work, the more I get. Like I said, it's like onions. You open it, you open the layer, you open. As you are opening, you are discovering new things. So there's no end to discovery. There's no end to discovery. There's no end to discovery. And as you are discovering, you are becoming the salt of the earth and light of the world. You are becoming solution provider on the earth. And mankind are seeing your good works and glorifying your Father in heaven. So the essence of that work, you know, someone was asking me during the break, he said, if you become successful without God, then you might forsake God. And I said, that means you don't even know the reason for success in the first place. You're not supposed to be successful because of yourself. You shouldn't be working to make money because of yourself. Because when you work, you will be so comfortable. So the goal should never be self. As long as the goal is self, you will corrupt that calling. The goal is for others. And because you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for him. How dare you forsake him? So when I use that illustration, I'm basically saying that unbelievers are successful. So you have God to your advantage. You have no reason not to be successful. That's basically what I'm saying with that statement. So I'm not saying you should do without God. I'm saying God is an extra for you. So you have every reason to be successful. God is an extra already. The unbeliever does not have him, but they are doing it. So you can do it without, just the way unbelievers can do it, but you should do much more than them. So back to Ngozi, he has to be buried for it to be appreciated. He has to be buried for it to be appreciated. Just the way geological survey or exploration help you to discover where the gold is so as not to waste your energy. Listen to this. So also is the benefit of discovering your purpose before working. Just as geological exploration help you to discover where the gold is. So you won't be, your effort is not scattered. You are going, you know that it's in this, they call it, I'm looking for that word in geology. Cadastral. This cadastral unit, this particular area marked out. So that means everything I want to explore, I should concentrate within that area. Even in that cadastral, I will discover that it might be just within this space. And I have to go down maybe 100 meters, 200 meters before I get there. Same way, when I discover myself and my calling, it concentrates my effort so it won't be wasted. So when you don't work in your area of calling, it becomes difficult for you to produce great output with minimal effort. With minimal effort compared to others. You will be putting in so much effort, but your output plus compensation will be nothing compared to someone or someone else that is putting the same effort in his own area of calling with so much compensation higher than you. If you refuse to discover yourself and work in your area of calling, you will be like someone working in the mining field without a geological exploration that has shown a proven reserve in that area. So the effort might become fruitless at the end of the day. On the other hand, those that have discovered their area of calling and working on it can be likened to the people that are mining in a field that have scientifically proven reserve of minerals and precious metal. One is guesswork, and that is foolishness. It's unwise, and it leads to frustration. Just getting enough to survive, while the other is wisdom. Leads to increase, getting more than enough with many to spare. The desire of the devil is that we will be like the foolish man, that we walk and 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 walk till retire and never be rich, nor be satisfied. So even distract them for even thinking about God. They are so busy, they don't even remember they were sent here by God for a reason and for a sin. They don't even remember. It's not even in their reality at all. Why? They must survive. Survivor. 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 You know, those work, you see the way people run at the train station in developed world. Developed world, the slavery in that country, the slavery is amazing. People are turned into machines just to run the system. So they wake up very early. They must be at the train station. If you don't get there 7, if you meet the 7 o'clock train, maybe the next one 7:30, you are late already for work. And you clock in and clock out. You have lost some pounds or some dollars already. Because you clock in. If you spend 7 hours, they pay you 7 hours for that day. At the end of the month, calculate everything at the end of the month. So the clock is not like Nigeria. If you come late, you come early. Ogata. That's what's not making African productivity to grow. People are not conscious of time. People are not conscious of time. If you clock in and clock out, and you show your productivity at the end of the day, that's what determines what you get. That's what determines what you get. So they are so time conscious, they can't afford to waste time. You will see them eating in the train, eating in the day. That's where fast food, that's why they become over big. Fast food, because he wakes up, he needs to be at the train station by 7. If he misses that 7 o'clock train, you need to see the way they are running. Get to walk. Finish. Go back home. Again, and some will do 2 jobs, some will do 3 jobs. Because the bill will kill you. Water bill, light bill, taxes, house, mortgage, rent, internet. You pay for everything. I was talking to my friend, he said he pays $2,000 per month, rent. Per month. How much is that? Over 900,000 per month in the US. Rent per month, $2,000 per month, $2,000. Is that what? Rent. Food is not there. Transport is not there. When I travel to the UK, I buy a travel card that will last me for a week, so I can go to all the parts of Europe, of London, the 6th zone, and maybe one other place outside. 110, 120 pounds in 1 week. Only transport. And it's because I bought in bulk. If I'm doing, that's why penny wise, pound foolish. Penny wise, pound foolish. Those that buy more, pay less. If you don't have enough, you spend more. Because you buy 10 pounds, before you know you add it might be times 3 of that at the end of the week. And that's for 7 days. And people have to do that for a month. So just calculate. 100 pounds, 120 pounds. And that's to go to work. You will go to church or go to other places or other events, and you have to incur that cost. Or buy fuel. As in, they pay bills. That's why they are comfortable, but they don't have savings. They are so afraid for anything untoward to happen. Many don't have savings. The system gives you the money, but it takes back almost all. So you know what some Nigerians do? 3, 4, 5, they will rent one building. So if it's 4-bedroom flat, 500 at the end of the month. So they can have a little change to send back to Nigeria. Else, you will just be in America. You will be ashamed to go back home. Some people are locked in that system. They can't come back again. Eh? So what? Who? Oh, yes, Mesoma. Mesoma said the system has been so designed that they pay you and give them and take them back. They pay you and you give them back the money. So the people literally pay debt for the rest of their life. This lady is living in America. He said some people pay $3,000 per month. She lives in America and she joined us. He said they use credit card like a yoke. Credit card like a yoke. You know, sometimes some people, if people don't deceive you, I'll be telling you only good part, good part, good part. When you get there, you see the bad part yourself. But before you go, good part, good part, good part, good part, good part. When you come, you see where people live. Then you understand it's not easy. There are a lot of people in Nigeria are a lot better off. And some people will sell all their belongings to relocate. So they can't come back again.
You said Nigeria is really blessed.
Yes, now. Look, if you are in that system and you're sincere, there are benefits there, but that you want to live there and stay there, you need to think about it very well. Apart from the racism, and the challenge in that environment. So I'm basically saying that the system of this world is designed to keep people in perpetual struggle throughout life. So people just literally pay bills. There's so much bills to pay. So when you hear that the minimum wage in the US maybe is $10 or $15 per hour. You calculate it. You are not looking at the taxes to get to the work. Pay for internet, pay for this, pay for that, pay for this, pay for that. So in Nigeria, there's so many things you don't pay for. So people don't pay tax. The first time, someone said, you can even retire as an old person here because, you cannot retire as an old person because there are bills to pay. Lord have mercy. You work and rest. He said you work and rest here. You work and rest. But here, people don't have time to rest. He's talking about when Nigeria is blessed. You pay bills the old age. You know, the system is so callous. If you can't pay your bills, they will cut off your light. You can become homeless. They can remove your water. As in, they will just cut you off, as in automatic. You know, here you can see beg, I beg, sir, I beg, ma, I beg. Is that what? Someone said, people say Australia, Canada is better. Better, when you say better in what respect? No. It's better. It might be better than US and UK. UK and US is terrible. And France, terrible. So people have adjusted to it. So that's why they can't live again. They can't live. Only few people have good jobs that they can save reasonably. Very few. Very, very few. Very, very few. Your life is supposed to be about waking up every day and pursuing your calling, and thereby living a satisfied and fulfilled life. When you continue like this, in working just to pay bill, that means you are being enslaved by the system. And this can continue in a way that you're unable to come out of it until you are old and retired, just like the lady said. Parents typically pray that their children are better than them. But this is really not the case, because they will also be looking for jobs to survive. Anything that motivates you more than money in your area of purpose and calling is your area of purpose and calling. So God created you to come and resolve that problem on the earth. But many get here and get distracted. So if you're a woman, they tell you you are getting closer to menopause, go and marry and give birth to children. Some women will even say that their purpose to support their husband. Some people say that their purpose is to give back to children and raise the children. What a life. What a life. What a life. But cat and pig can do better. Yes, if it's to give back to children and raise them. We can't match up because they can give back to 10 at a time. I'm not sure any woman have broken that record. I think I've heard 8 in the US. Everybody is packaged for a purpose. As a woman, you support your husband in domestic work, but you are more than a domestic work. You are more than domestic work. Your purpose is not to raise children. The children will leave you when they are 18, 19, or 20. You will be on your own. And if you don't leave them, you might become someone that make their life miserable because you not leave them alone. Calling them and asking what they ate yesterday night. What is it in this world that motivates you more than money? That's your area of calling. But your work is to till that your own ground. Till your own ground. Till your own ground. In order to produce fruit from that ground. Till your own ground. Jesus is a good example for us. He was hungry. But there was an opportunity to fulfill his calling. You know what he did? He suddenly forgot about food and began to engage the woman until she was able to convert her. What is it that is such a burden in your heart that you will rather do than eat or be paid? Is it taking care of the needy or the orphanage? Is it helping people to find themselves? Is he helping a business to grow? What is it? And some people, is he going to convert people to Christ? Maybe you're called to be an evangelist. For some, it's about salvation of soul. I was asking a brother, what do you love to do? He said, I'm so delighted to see souls saved. There's another lady I was talking to, said what she wants. She can follow up, die. Follow up. She will stay on your neck. So for some, it's about following up to maturity. For some, it's about reaching out to schools, to children, to fatherless, to widows, to orphans, to the rich, to the poor, to the market women. Who are you called to? Who does your heart yearn for? What are you willing to serve? Or where are you willing to serve without getting paid? The question to ask ourselves is, if we discover this, because we have spent how many days talking about this, if we discover this and we don't do the work, nothing will work. And that's the greatest challenge for me. You know, like I said, we had this session last year and we discovered how to plan our lives, but we could not do those planning because many people not even discover themselves. So we decided this year that, okay, we are going to focus on discovering ourselves and then working towards developing it in order to be able to effectively deploy our lives. Work, a tool for fulfilling your calling. Work, a tool for fulfilling your mandate. Work, the best thing that ever happened to man. The best gift of God to mankind. You can't imagine the opportunity you have been able to work. You can't imagine the opportunity you have been able to work. It helps you to unveil yourself. It helps you to reveal yourself. It helps you to expand your mind. Do you know that? Look at this. Look at this. This might shock you. In Genesis chapter 2, it says, sorry, I'm trying to get it. Just 1 minute. Yes, chapter 2, verse 5. Listen to this, please. Listen to this. And every plant of the field before it was on the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord God has not caused it to rain on the earth, because there was no man to till the ground. There was no man to till the ground. There was no man to till the ground. The rain of blessing will not come if you refuse to till your ground. God is not a waster of resources. He's not a waster of resources. There was no man available to till the ground. And because there was no man available to do the work, the blessing could not be released. Even though he has created the herbs, they could not grow. He could not cause rain to come. There's no fruitfulness because there was no man to till the ground. You want blessing? What is the ground you are tilling that will bring that blessing? Because there was no man to till the ground. There was no man to till the ground. There was no man to till the ground. We basically hinder the blessing of God upon our life when we are lazy and we find it difficult to do the work. Because the source of our blessing will come when there was a man ready to do the work. Now that you know this thing, happy are you if you do them. Let me go online. I will need your comment and contribution. Yes, I can see Janet. Janet, you are the first to speak. Mr. Man is still talking. You know. He said, every country has problem. It's only when you get there you find out that they have big problem. You know what they have done? They have a way of selling to us their good part. And the only thing we know about them is the good part. Only thing you know about them is the good part. Janet. Janet, you can unmute yourself. Hello, Janet. Go ahead, please.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Thank you, sir, for your time, spending your time. I really do appreciate. Okay, I still learned that we should never, ever live for survival. Even in this coming year, we should not just live to just pay bills, just to keep body and soul together, but should also work towards affecting our community positively, like being a fruit. We should be fruitful, and that's helping others alongside, because a fruit is for others to eat, it's not for the tree to benefit. We should not be selfish. We should yield fruits and multiply. That's what I learned, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Summer. Yetunde, I will come to you, please. Miss Summer, can you drop your comment if you are available, or I should go to Yetunde? Miss Summer, you can unmute yourself. Okay. You are busy? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, Yetunde, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I just want to ask a question. In the first section, when we started this program, today on the first section, I want to ask that you talk about talents.
Yes.
So what I want to ask is, how can we discover our talents?
How can we discover our talent? We have been talking
yes.
about it since Wednesday. So what I would recommend is I'm dropping a link right now on the chat group. So we have discussed this extensively since this program started on Tuesday. So I'm dropping a link right now on the chat group. Please click on it
Sir.
and try to check. We have had 6 sessions already, plus the 3 we've done today or 4. That would be almost 10 sessions. So I think you have more than enough to be able to get that done. So I'll drop it on it. Just look out for it on the chat, on the Zoom chat. I'll drop that shortly.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Ifeanyi, are you there? Hello, Ifeanyi. Ifeanyi, you can unmute yourself. Okay, Ifeanyi is not there. Samson, are you there today? Hello, Samson. Like Samson listening from work. I don't know if it's available now. Techno Spark 2. Techno Spark 2. So Yetunde, I've dropped the link. So please just click on that link I just dropped right now. I've dropped the link. I've also dropped it on the WhatsApp group for those that please, if you are not on the WhatsApp group, drop your number on the chat, both online or offline. Drop your number on the chat and then we will get across to you so you can add it to the WhatsApp group. The plan in the new year is to meet every week. The plan in the new year is to meet every week. Who are those people? No, it will be both online and offline. So that those that were not able to join all along can then be able to make it. So it will be online and offline. But it will be once a week, it won't be every day again. It will be once a week. We are considering Saturday, Sunday. Okay, if I have unmuted you, can you try again? I've just unmuted you now.
Yes, thank you, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for your time. Honestly, I really appreciate. I've been able to learn 1 or 2 today, and let me just scroll through where now I was able to learn that if you don't work, nothing will work.
Yes.
You know, and that's using the case study of Paul the Apostle.
Yes.
Though he didn't meet Christ physically,
yes.
but because of his nature of work, he was able to walk and he was able to do more than those that were present with Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
So that's in as much as there is grace, we need to also put it to work.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of treasures that is hidden, that is hidden and buried in man. If one doesn't work, those things won't be uncovered. And if you don't work, you never can tell what you'll be able to do. So that was what I picked up from there.
All right. Thank you,
sir.
Thank you. Samuel Malik was with us. I don't know if Samuel wants to make a comment. Samuel Malik. Yemi, are you there? Hello, Yemi, you can unmute yourself.
Hello, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, you just opened my eyes about work.
Okay.
Because these days we say we should work smart, not work hard. So when you now say work hard, because you say you are working hard, people will say working hard care. You work smart. So I need more clarification. And then the smartness they are saying.
Smart, Working hard in this case does not mean physical labor, because when people say work hard and not work smart, they are basically saying do more of mind work and mental work than physical work, which is very important. Working hard in this case is not working mechanically, but working with your mind. And I gave an example: reading, learning, researching, and thinking. Reading, learning, researching, and thinking. And then doing. Reading, learning, researching, and thinking, and doing. So if they say work smart, then we have to define what they say. Is it that you should just spend little time and not spend more time? You need to spend a lot of time. Only that you need to spend a lot of time in your area of calling and gifting to be able to fulfill the purpose on the earth.
Well, okay, thank you very much. So I still learn much about work, that work is not a cause. And then because some people complain of work, I don't. So, well, it's a new revelation. So I think I will try to investigate more. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Let's come to those of us offline. I think others are busy. Let's come to those of us offline. Yes. Question first before we. Yes, one. Any other question? Let me get to the last question. Question one. Only one. 2, 3. Any other one? Question becomes question. Okay, go ahead.
So this part, aside this part is like such a basic character. How can you explain that? So because it's about bringing everything that we discussed tonight, really, because it has been more validation, treating mindset. But the work is where the thing is there. So, but I noticed that from my personal experience that this is very critical, and that's it's a different world. I've worked on a project recently, and to me, it's called came out an idea, right? Then I started executing. But I noticed that when it comes to executing, it's a different ball game. It's like I don't know. It's not the way it is in my head. Okay, so my question basically is when it comes to executing ideas, right? There are factors that come into play. Can you share what are the main factors that we need to look out for when executing this idea, this mindset?
So execute any idea, you need to be a project manager. Not necessarily going to do project management certification, but you need to understand what is called scope, you need to understand what is called time, resources. So if I'm going to do a project, I need to ask myself, how much time will it take? What does it cover? And what do I need to get it done? If I lost sight of scope, it might become a failed project. If I lost sight of time, I might find out that the time I have is not enough and I'm not able to do it. And then the resources become extremely critical. I need to be able to be sure that the resources I have will be enough to do that project. But mine, yes, go ahead. That's if you know those three, then you will now know which of them is your constraint and then see how you can work around it. So that's why people say they want to work within the budget. If I know scope, I can now reduce the scope to be able to work within the resources I have at my disposal. So one of the ways you can bridge that gap of knowledge from learned execution is what you want to do. Has anybody done it before? If yes, go and read what they've done. Read their biography. Go online and see how did they do what they did. You stand on the shoulder of others to be able to see ahead. So it's very important you have an idea of, has anybody done it? If they've done it, can you get them? Can you read what they've done? To have an idea, what are the challenges they face and how did they overcome it? So someone said he started a ministry and he said he went to buy, he got, I think about, I can't remember the number, more than 10 great ministers across the globe. And he read their biography. What do you want to do? He said he wants what they spend 60 years, 40 years, 30 years learning in ministry. He wants to learn it in 1 year, reading their book. So that he won't need us 40 years to learn what he learned. We learned it in days, in weeks. Get all the lessons, avoid the errors, know the milestone and know what to do. So if you understand this, project management in summary, maybe just do for, I'm sure you can see a 1 hour, 2 hour video that can give you project management in summary. That will give you an idea. Then, yes, number 2, yes, sir. Work and grace. People have different definitions. Someone will say God wishes at Christ's expense. That is a wrong definition. That's a wrong definition. That grace is not what you labor. Someone labored for it. And there are conditions to have access to it. So the condition, okay, look at what I will use to answer it. Look at what I will use to answer it. Sorry, it's not picking about, I think in scripture. So it's easier for me to be able to use the scripture to defend myself. Grace and peace be multiplied through the knowledge of God and the Savior, our Lord Jesus Christ. Grace and peace. So the more I know, the more grace abounds for me. The more I know God, or about an area of coming, or anything I want, the more I know, the more grace available for me to be successful in that area. Grace and peace be multiplied through knowledge. Through knowledge. So the more I know and work, the more grace available for me. So it's like the more I know, the more I draw grace to myself. Because what I know now makes it easier for me to do. Grace and peace be multiplied through the knowledge. Through the knowledge. Through the knowledge. Through the knowledge. I don't know if that helps. Yes. No. God riches at Christ's expense. I'm okay with that definition. Only that riches come based on conditions. Based on conditions. And the condition involve learning, knowing enough to attract more grace. So that's why Paul said, he said the grace of God upon him was not in vain. And he said the reason why. He said because he labored. So that says like, I have grace to do this, but that grace is only manifested if I'm able to labor. But to labor well, I need to know. To labor well, I need to know. To labor well, I need to know. Else, I won't be able to know even what to do. So when someone says, I want to do this, but I don't know how to do it, like he said, it's knowledge. I want to start a business, but I don't know how to go about it. Knowledge. Learn from people. Read material. So that means there is a solution to almost every problem. The only issue is to find the right knowledge that will help us to be able to. And you know, like I was saying the day one, that you will reach a level, you will know you have found answer. As in, it will be too obvious to you that no, it will be like light broke. As in, okay, there was an illustration I was using one of the sessions that as you are reading, you are getting filled and getting filled and getting filled. That you are becoming pregnant. After a while, life will break. As in, like you become heavy. You don't get pregnant, you become heavy, and then you give up. That's the knowledge is. That you learn to a level and get the point. You know that you learn, you know, there's no way you will not successful because you have known everything that needs to be known to make it successful, and then you are not implementing it. If you know it and you are clear about it, you will take action. If you know and you are not taking action, you are not clear. Clarity is a sign of action. Sorry, action is a sign of clarity. If you think you know, you are not taking action, you are not clear. If you are clear in saying that you are sure this is it. This is the way to go. This is the way to go. And you take action. It's taking action does not mean to be all the roads you have challenged you, but you will take action. Because now you know that no, I need to go ahead. I need to go ahead. Number 3. Yes. Okay. 10,000 hours. Research shows that you need 10,000 hours of learning in a particular field to become an expert in that field. An expert is someone that will deliver 99% of time. As in, you are too sure you will deliver. You know, as a footballer, if they come in 15 minutes to the end, game will change. And if the opponent is not careful, something will enter the net. They are that good. Their performance is predictable. So that they will deliver 9 out of 10 times, you are sure, 99 out of 100, you are sure they will deliver. But the reason why they will deliver is because they've done it several times. That's why I said, I'm not impressed as a professor coming to class and teaching without using notes. Why did I? He's a professor. You would have done it for like 10, 15, 20 years. So why would I be impressed? I would be shocked if you carry notes. I will be shocked if he carry notes. And I know of one, he will carry the note and he will still make mistake. He's not a professor, he was a PhD, one lecturer like that when I was in Luke. He will carry notes, he was in physiology. He's no more there now, you know her. He will make mistake. Student will be laughing. Whereas another lecturer, Professor Adiku, when she finished, student will clap. Sometimes we stand up. We just love that guy. He knows how to deliver in a way that it enters inside. You know, when you get information, it stays in your primary memory. If you reinforce it, like what we discussed, and you can listen to it again, you can move it into secondary memory. Listen to it like 3, 4, 5, and the same thing. Move to tertiary. When you get tertiary, nothing can remove it again. That man, when he teaches once, the thing enters tertiary straight. I'm serious, though. Because some of the things he taught us, I still remember it today. You see the way I'm talking about physiology. There are about three physiologists in this place, or 3 people that know physiology, and they can confirm what I'm saying. I'm serious. I still talk about it, and I can't remember the last time I carried physiology textbook. The thing entered tertiary memory. I don't people. No, but that was Professor Adigu. The man was just too much. The man was just too much. Because he has attained the 10,000 hours. So if you do something for long, it becomes part and parcel of you. So you do it at a level. You know, there are some people when they play, what's the name? There's a guy that plays violin. I think we used to in Yabate. He played violin. Whenever we do concert, then in youth and we invite him. When he always do violin solo. He must do violin solo. It's too good. But go and check how many hours he has practiced. Those performances, you see 30 minutes, 20 minutes, that is awesome. Thousands of hours has gone in to achieve that. That's the way it works, actually. That's the way it works. All right, yes. Any other question before I take comments? Samuel, welcome. Welcome from afar. Yes. Faith, you're not asking today. When you all like, you drop question like, what happened? You don't have any, are you serious? Okay. How about glory? Okay, let's take comment. Let me start from Grant. Yes. Can you give him that thing so that people online can hear? Go ahead. Go ahead. Is it not working? You are connected.
And now you said that you have to work to convert different relations.
Yes. Yes. Ngozi. Increase your volume.
Learning and thinking. And then you said more of the work that has to be done.
Work is the one that no, just hold it like that. Yeah. You said yes.
They said more of mental work.
Yes.
What about grace of God, not how grace was
The grace of light. The what? And the more you learn, also, you're right.
You cannot fulfill mandate if you are lazy and not
Ayo. Ayo, right?
You cannot get anything without work.
Cannot get.
In the sense that, let's for instance, I have a project I explore, and I'm just having the idea. Now working towards the idea, I'm not as a creative, whatever area that you have developed our body without work. I'm happy.
Thank you. Faith. That
the manifestation of God.
you can't hear her.
You can't do anything without working. So you have to work hard at anything you want to achieve.
We can't do
Anything without hard work. So we have to work hard at anything we want to achieve.
Sorry. Even though you came and you tell me what
Spend more time to develop ourselves. Not just few hours. We want to be an expert. We have studied, or we should give more time to what we want. So working hard and smart. Not just hard. Being smart.
working hard. Yes.
I learned that you have to discover your purpose and your area before working.
Yes.
Or else you have to put in maximum effort, minimal results. That you can't perform well outside your quality.
Yes.
We have player and spectator.
Yes.
The more
Player and spectator. See those people have been separated.
without hard work, cannot be a player.
Yes.
Without hard work, then also the more you work, the more you work. The more work you do, the luckier you get.
Yes. The more I work, the more I get.
Power of conversion.
Yes. I think that's the power of converting spiritual reality. That's the reason that we do. Converting spiritual reality to physical reality. Being able to conceive an idea and bring it to being able to live and fellowship with God and receive ideas. A fellowship without ideas is worthless, and fruitless. If there is nothing for the benefit, to show you how strong that is, you can slow that down before the molator. To show you how strong that is, the Bible says that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word cannot benefit human, and God knew it because he made it so. How did the Word benefit human? And the Word became flesh and dwell among us, and we behold him as the glory of the Father. The only way your spiritual experience will benefit the world is when you convert it to physical reality. And when you do that, it will bring glory to the name of the Lord. He said, and we behold him, the glory of the only begotten of his Father, until the Word became flesh. What human being can benefit from? It was useless to mankind. Your spirituality is useless and worthless to mankind if you are not converting it to flesh. Physical reality that mankind can benefit from. So we are very spiritual, but there is no result. Because in the real sense, I'm not sure it's spirituality. Because to be spiritual, what does it mean to be spiritual? Don't talk, raise up your hand. What does it mean to be spiritual? No. What does it mean to be spiritual? Wait, you are Christian, you are spiritual. Don't tell me that one. What does it mean to be spiritual? What does it mean to be spiritual? Yes, Lois. To be connected to God. Interesting. Yes. What does it mean to be spiritual? Faith. To fellowship with. What does it mean to be spiritual? Yes. Perfect. What does it mean to be spiritual? Yes. Well, that's a fantastic.
There's something greater than myself.
To be spiritual is to love. To be spiritual is to have joy. To be spiritual is to be peaceful. Let me stop you so you won't be feedback. To be spiritual is to be meek. To be spiritual is to be gentle. To be spiritual is to have long suffering and self-control. To be spiritual is to have the fruit of the Spirit. It's called the fruit. I know it's connected. To be spiritual is to have the fruit of the Spirit. To be spiritual is to have, that's why it's called the fruit of the Spirit. The result of being spiritual. The result of being spiritual. So our spirituality depends largely on how much. So if we are spiritual, don't think, if Christians are spiritual, don't you think our society will be a lot better? There will be more love. What do you think so? There will be more peace. Don't you think so? People will not fight over food in church. Don't you think so? People will not fight over that. People will not keep malice, even as family members. Don't you think so? I'm serious. To be spiritual is to have the fruit of the Spirit. Fruit of the Spirit. The result of being spiritual. Yes, Mesoma, do you want to type it or drop it? You know, you told me you can't stop. Can you want to drop it or write it? If you want to speak, you can unmute yourself or you type it. I'll be waiting for you. I went into spirituality to say that. So if I say I'm spiritual, then there's no way I manifest it. There's no way people will know I'm spiritual if I don't demonstrate love. There's no way. Your spirituality must be seen. The only way your spirituality benefits the world is in the way I demonstrate love, the way I'm peaceful in spite of challenges, the way I'm having joy despite challenges, the way I am good to people, the way I control myself. Those are the things that show my level of spirituality. But today's spirituality is defined, we define it ourselves as, tell me now. How what?
How your quiet
the quiet time that is not making you to be loving is not making you spiritual. So that means prayer should make us actually more spiritual. Prayer is not spirituality. Prayer is what makes us spiritual. Because prayer makes us to produce evidence of being spiritual. which are the fruit of the Spirit. Evidence of being spiritual, which are fruit of the Spirit. So that means if we are spiritual, then flesh cannot overcome. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. The flesh cannot have its way because we are spiritual in the sense that we are manifesting the fruit of the Spirit, the result of being spiritual. Yes. The manifesting, is it a deliberate act? Okay. When someone
annoys you or does something, and then you have to either that scenario.
Yes.
So I'm just saying, manifest fruit of the Spirit doesn't have.
It's deliberate. It's a deliberate act. So we all have a measure of by virtue of salvation. Okay, but now we have the duty to grow. We have the duty to grow. So if I develop myself in prayer, in studying, in meditating, then I can grow that fruit such that I become very spiritual. And I become very spiritual in the sense that even when I'm offended, it's difficult for me to curse or to abuse or to fight, even when I'm offended. Not because I'm foolish, but because I'm spiritual. It's easier for me to have self-control. And that calls to question our concept of spirituality. Because if you are spiritual and flesh took over, flesh is always overcoming, then there's something wrong with that spirituality. And you notice when Paul was talking about being spiritual, he said, the flesh lusts after the spirit and spirit after the flesh, and these two are contrary. Before he now talk about the work of the flesh and, of course, the fruit of the spirit. So it's deliberate. It's deliberate. Yes. Gemola, okay. Non-Christian or other religion also refer to themselves as being spiritual. How do we differentiate between the two? God is the standard for the truth. God is the standard for the truth, and Christ himself is the truth. So, I will not attribute definition of spirituality based on what other religion says. I would rather attribute it, I would rather define it based on what the scripture says. So if they say they are spiritual, I probably will not be able to say much about it because being spiritual is to manifest the fruit of the Spirit. If you are spiritual, you don't have the fruit of the Spirit, you are not spiritual, you are a spiritist. They are spiritists. They are not spiritual. Because if you are spiritual, you manifest the fruit of the Spirit. Because it's the fruit of the Spirit, it's the characteristics of being spiritual. That means the Spirit is predominant in your life above the flesh. So the flesh is not the one taking over, the Spirit is the one taking over. That's a manifestation of the fruit of the Spirit. So I would define it that way. So because for me, scripture is the standard for truth about God and about life. So if scripture is standard, I won't be able to say much traditional religion like the one I said, African spiritualism. Traditional, whatever it is, everybody claims to be spiritual. But I will define my standard of spirituality from the scriptural perspective. Yes. Yes. Yes, yeah, obviously.
You may have some, but not necessarily all, because joy, for example, is community. A non-believer cannot just say he has joy. So that's all. The believer has the fruit and all the characteristics of that fruit. That's what.
In fact, what they call that they are able to see, that's what they call spirituality. So they are spiritually driven. Because I understand being able to see your command. So you can see now that it's not about growth. At least according to God's definition. And that's why Jesus said, many will come to me in that day, they will say, Lord, Lord, I will not prophesy in thy name done many mighty work. And he said, I will say, I don't know you. Because you really were not spiritual. Yes. Demola, yes. The first what?
I said the first charge of
yeah.
We're being brought up, we have the system. We're being born in the system. The country, the parents, the society, the African economy. Now, we are here now, giving us, this program has been changing the idea. Let me use the word change. Let's just say, okay, how can we appeal for the system we are being brought up? For example, now, you give an example of a guy. Let me use Christianity for example. Give an example. When I came, give an example of the guy. Like everybody has this service in church. Maybe they are serving going in church and it's not performing in service in church. Only you have to maybe train some people. And that is, I don't get the. I don't need the over at the end. Now, for him, some people, a lot of people will be seeing him as like an odd. They will be saying what is doing as odd, like he's not doing what is right. That is what is right now. So we are being brought up by miracles. We believe that everything is by miracles. What we are being trained is don't do this, can't get it. The fear is there. Even if you are reading even with the scriptures, we believe that you read scriptures, when you think of something, you have to talk. That's how we are being brought up.
If you think of what?
Like if you just think of something, that thing must come to pass.
Okay.
That is how we have been brought up. Now, we are here now. We have been, the way the program has been, I don't know how to put it. Now, after we have changed, that is the question. So that we are not going to be looking at all, like we are not going to be different. Because we are being, the way we have been, the perspective we have been things now, we started asking, we know this is right. Let's do it as if they like it. But people will be saying it as though this one is different, these people are being different. That is the first question. Now, the second question on my list here is yes, we talk about work. We believe that working hard, why we need to work hard is to achievement. Those guys say, okay, go to school, have an achievement. Because your achievement, you get respect, you always want to. Because if you don't work hard, you will be able to have some value in order to get respect. Now, you now say something. The reason why we are working, it's not for us. That's what you say. Then who are we?
Who are?
You are we. Why are we working?
I've told you.
Yes, you say we are not working for ourselves. Then what is the purpose of work, of that work? If it's not like, okay, the reason why I'm working is to guarantee my achievement. The reason why I'm working is to take the respect. The reason why I'm working is to throw every bit of me of the people.
Yes,
so that's it.
Okay, so the first question was okay, go ahead.
Pointing out as the odd one. Let me give an example. There was in deeper life as a young child. Then you have to live to gain knowledge somewhere. Maybe you are an instrumentalist in deeper life, and what you feel, the way you like playing with the other instruments like drums, bass. I'm not talking about the way I'm talking about the system. Just like the way the Inventia system is. I'm not talking about so.
He's just using that example. I know where he's going. He's using his brother's story. Whenever you know, you are going to have to fight internally and externally. So you need to condition your mind to ignore the noise on the outside. You know why? If you don't condition your mind to ignore the noise on the outside, you will feel you are odd by being different. But being different is your critical success factor in life. The world will not reward you for your similarities. You will be rewarded for your difference. So being different is very important because you can't think the same way like every other person and expect to get a different result. You must think differently. So whatever it is you have heard that give you that mindset, ensure you continue to listen to it. Ensure you continue your mind to a level that no matter what they say, you have be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, by listening to that again and again and again until it becomes part and parcel of you. So even whatever they say, you are not even hearing what they are saying again. Because as far as they are concerned, you have been changed internally, such that whatever they say, you already expect they will say it anyway, that your view in this society, our society is already flawed. There's a lot of things wrong with society. So if you want to use that society to dictate the way you will live, then you will not rise above that society. So go back to work. You said, society say, the reason for work, I remember one time my cousin was saying that, when you go out in the morning and come back in the evening, they give you respect. So the reason for working is to have respect. So when you mention that, can you imagine? The reason for working is to have respect. So right from the word go, the definition of work is flawed. Right from the beginning. So we are not, that means in that equation, God is not even there at all. Always remember, you were not created for yourself. You were created by God for a reason. And when He created, He said, be fruitful. So the reason for work is to be fruitful. The reason for work is not to earn a salary. It's not to earn a living. The reason for work is to be fruitful. What does it mean to be fruitful? To be a blessing to others. That's the reason for work. That's the reason for work. So if you don't define work that way, as a way of growing, learning to be a blessing to others, what will happen is that you will live a very selfish and self-centered life, and you will not be able to free your calling. To be human is to love. To be human is to give. To be human is to serve. To be human is to be fruitful. As long as you are fruitful, he that watereth himself will be watered. So that's why you should not worry about what you will eat and drink, because he that watereth himself will be watered. So it's the flaws in our society that make you to think only about yourself and saying, I'm working so that I can take care of myself, take care of my family, take care of my, buy my car, build my house, take care of my children. After you have finished that, what will others? Go old and die. Thank you, Grant. Go old and then, so if everybody came into the world and did that, you will even get a job. Because the person that when you get that job, the person created a business that gave you that job. So that means if everybody came and just the mindset everybody had, you won't even get that job in the first place. So obviously, it's not the right way for us to be. He said, be fruitful. We must be fruitful. To be fruitful is to be a blessing to others. Because when a tree grows and have fruit, the fruit is not for himself. He doesn't even eat from the fruit. He's taking nutrients, developing and growing to bless others. But that's the way life is. If all of us do that, the world will be a better place. The world will be a better place. So please don't be afraid to be different. Sometimes when I talk to some people, they can't understand, it looks like the reason why they're emotionally drained because they have not learned how to handle that contradiction. That's why I said, if I know, immediately you are talking, I already know why you are saying what you are saying. Recently, I was in the gym. A lady came to me. They are organizing something it's a group. So they are trying to organize like Christmas end of the year since they've been together for. And I just joined and I told them that, sorry, I'm busy. I won't even be chance on Saturday. I said, but I can contribute. That's okay. Now, when he chatted me when he wanted me to contribute, I was not asking her, what does she do, blah, 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 trying to, and I discovered that he's a university student. I was not saying, why is he doing the course he's doing, blah. So I realized that he was not interested in the conversation, and that's the kind of conversation I want to have. So to him, I'm strange. Because everything is about the reason why I spoke to you in the first place. I mean, are you helping us or you are not helping us? So I realized that it's not the kind of conversation he wants to have. That's exactly what happened. When you understand people's mindset, the kind of conversation you want to have is not what you want to have. That's okay. That's why you look, there's no way you must be different. Because you can't think the way the society is thinking and then be better than the society. The only way you will be better than the society, the regular society, is to think a different way and to think right and to think based on the truth. So you will appear weird. That's why I said you must fill your mind to a level that you will be pitying them when they say that. Instead of being drained emotionally, you'll be pitying them that, I wish he understand. He doesn't understand. So you are like pitying them. You are not even bothered again. You are now trying to look at the wretchedness of the way he's thinking. And that's what you wish you can help. Only that he will not listen. But because you have grown your mind to that level, that's why you need to listen and listen and listen and listen and listen and listen. Renew your mind. Renew your mind. When you renew your mind, you will consider that the reason why you are dreading is because you are considering that, you are thinking about that, you don't even think about it. Because it's like, I know this person does not even know what he's saying. Someone that doesn't even know why he's here. You know, people have not thought of, why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I in Nigeria? Why am I here? So people have not thought of it. So not thinking of it is so me that the way the kind of person you are, that you're not even thought of it at all. Like on Wednesday, Tuesday, when I asked who is God, and people were saying, that's true, who is God? Who is God? Because people have not thought of it before. Who is God? He is God. Do you understand? So you need to grow your mind to a level where instead of being emotionally drained, rather you are pitying them for their wretchedness and lack of understanding of the science of living or the modus operandi that should guide the way we live. You know, you can't live on your own terms as human beings. There is a way to live, and we must learn how to live. And we are blessed with the scripture that gives us an idea of how to live. Jamal, I've answered your question. Yes.
I have two questions.
Okay. Okay.
Now, before I ask the question, sir, do you agree with me that being a born again doesn't guarantee the position of the Spirit?
No, you have it. You have it. So what you need to develop the reason for doing that you will come of the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ. So the reason why the scripture describes you as a babe is because you are young and you're supposed to be growing. So that means you are not investing in your own growth. That's why the spirit of the Spirit is not prominent. It's supposed to be growing and prominent. So if it's not growing and prominent because you're not developing it. I thought I've talked about that already. One of the things you do is to pray. You meditate on scripture. So love, what does it mean to love? Go to 1 Corinthians 13. Love endure all things. Endure all things. Endure all things. You need to think about that scripture and meditate on it. So what are the things you find difficult to endure? That when it happens like this, you can scatter someone's head. And begin to imagine that thing happen and imagine your response. You understand? Imagine that thing happen and imagine your response. He said, meditate on this thing. Give yourself wholly to them, that a profiting may appear unto all. Meditate, think about it, imagine it. So he is love, hope all things, endureth all things. What does it mean? Imagine it. Play it in your mind. You are not surprised. You are not surprised. You are not happy about it, but you are able to enjoy it. So you need to grow in it. And you are meditate on scripture, pray about it, and you are going to grow it. Meditate on scripture, pray about it, and you are going to grow it. You don't consciously grow it. You don't consciously grow it. So something happened. If I know the joy of the Lord is my strength and that God is with me, then I should be joyful, even though there is a challenge. That that joy is a fruit of the spirit. So I'm asking myself, what could have happened now? And how would I think about it? I might feel bad if I don't dwell in that situation. I'm still happy despite the challenges. There is a big issue that will probably take life, but you are having peace in the midst of challenges. There was a time I was in the air and the plane was banging. Serious problem. I was coming from Côte d'Ivoire. And look at what I did. I imagined the plane on the hand of God. And I see the banging as the rough hand, the rough part. That was, so he's moving on his hand and those rough parts. As in, I imagine that it's held in his hand and it can never fall. And that gave me peace. Do you understand? So you need to, let me tell you, your brain does not know reality or imagination. You understand? Your brain. You know you're afraid because your brain is thinking, right? So if you give your brain the right thinking, it doesn't know if that thing is real or right. It doesn't know. Your brain does not know if what has happened. That imagination, you can assume, really, yes, something is holding you. That's the way I believe what is happening at that time. And that's the way I respond. And that created peace in the midst of that storm in the air. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying, so make effort to grow that fruit. Grow it. Imagining it, the circumstances that will contradict it, and what are you supposed to react to? And if you do it consistently, you will pray. With prayer, you meditate on the scripture, you will pray. But it has to be a deliberate act. Does it make sense? It's weird.
Now, Jesus gave the parable of the talent, and then we know that out of the three, five one, and now the last person that he the talent was punished. Now, in our own sense, does it mean that if we do not make use of our talent and purpose, would we be punished? Right? That is the I have no doubt in my mind. That is meaning will be punished. That is the so what I'm not sure is going to be
like into hell. I won't be able to feel but I think but Jesus, you know what Jesus told that person? He said it was wicked and foolish. Have you seen it before? Yes. What's that? They took what he has. They took what he had and gave it to someone else. Is that what? The manager doesn't happen to me on that time. He said it was foolish and stupid. I think that's punishment for it. Importantly, I don't know. But I don't know. But I think that's punishment because Jesus already gave us an idea. He said the person is wicked and foolish for hiding the talent and not allowing the potential to manifest. He said it's wicked and foolish.
I think punishment are not being we are thinking direct interpretation. Now, the implication of the story was like the purpose for which the coin was given to you was not achieved. So if you look at it in terms of soul winning, whatever you are playing today and what we are trying to do today is to find our purpose so that we can affect lives and then use that as an instrument for evangelism. So if that is good of the soul, and you've been given a talent in it, and you're supposed to, by so he said, men shall see the good work and glorify the Father who is in heaven. And they cannot see that because you are not using it. So
the truth is that you are not fruitful. He said, fruitful multiply. Jesus rebuked you because he multiplied. And you're supposed to multiply what you have been given. Fruitful, multiply. If you are not multiplying, you know what Jesus said? Cut it down.
Another illustration of this is imagine if you give it that point, it means that you are part of the kingdom.
Yes.
And what you have was taken from you.
Yes.
Kingdom citizenship was taken from you. You want that?
So, like I said, I won't be able to say what the consequences is, but I know there will be consequences. I don't have any doubt about that. Someone say on the earth, I don't know, there will be consequences. The Bible says that he wiped out their tears, in heaven. So that means they'll be crying in heaven. They'll be crying now. If there is no cry, they won't be wiping out of tears. So let's leave that, please. Let's talk about that. Yes, what's that? Yes, now I said they wipe out their tears now. Because that means there'll be, you look back and see what you'll have done, you realize I just came to the earth and waste every opportunity, and you feel so sad. Yes, Samuel, I know you joined us in the middle. Do you have anything to contribute before we move on? Yes. 14 to 16 hours a day. You are not working. Some people are not working 14 hours a day. That means you can't sleep more than 6 hours. So you have 18 hours left. So you have about 3-4 hours doing some other things. And you have 14 to 16 hours to be able to work. It's so important, though. It's so important. It's so important. Someone said he was traveling, he was in first class cabin with Bill Gates, and they were going to London. While he was sleeping, sorry, not Bill Gates, Dangote, said while he was sleeping, he's a pastor, and he was going to preach the next day. It was Saturday evening. Said Bill Gates was awake throughout the night, reviewing documents. Throughout the night, he had to sleep. Said because he's preaching the next morning. Now was, No. I'm talking about what will have helped Bill Gates to get to that level. The level of work they do. That I'm trying to paint that picture. The level of work. The level of work. Yes, go ahead.
But I've also had that from some people. They said they want to start up something or they want to go into a new field. Instead of them spending that number of years that some people have spent, they just pick up those people's materials and just spend like 2-3 days and they're okay, and they won't make such mistakes that
you can avoid the mistake. But they that's what someone learned in try and error. They just do it straight and they reduce their error rate. Chooks, any comment or question?
I learned when we are in the place of work, when we are in the field of work, we discover ourselves. And so it's so true because when I look back at some of the things that I've, some of the circumstances I've had to face, so I discovered that most of the opportunities I have today are because I was just there. While other people were running away from me, I was there, I was doing it. So I believe the concept of work should be clearly taught to the church in a way where they don't see it as a personal effort. Because anytime I put something on my status or I talk to a few people, there's this notion that
anytime you do what?
Anytime I put up a message on my status.
Okay, on WhatsApp?
Yes, either on WhatsApp or I'm chatting with people. There's this concept of we have to leave it in the hands of God. We have to leave things in the hands of God. My brother, you have to be like prayerful. I understand that aspect very well, but what is not taught to us is I won't say it's not taught, but it's watered down to some extent. The need for us to emphasize that place of dedication. Just like Paul the Apostle that said, he labored more abundantly. He wasn't even saying he labored more, like he went far to show the description of how he labored. So I think it's lost in our generation, especially now that we want quick fixes to most things. And then we just believe that we can easily navigate ourselves. We can't have somebody at the top that can help us. Say you have God. And so, if you pray to God, somehow, God will arrange situations your way. So if there's a way for us to, I'm really passionate about it, there's a way to remind young people like us. I believe this program has really helped us with that, to emphasize the need of dedication. I think that was what formed the Christianity we have today, starting from the Protestant movement. I saw how hardworking they were. John Wesley was so hardworking. Martin Luther was so hardworking. Just that they had the wrong concept of work. And eventually, when they found grace, they still applied that work. And that was the engineering of everything we have today in the church. So I think going forward, we really need to emphasize this for
Yeah,
us.
I agree with you 100%. Yes. Okay, you have a question. Go ahead. No. Work is a tool. A tool. Work is what actualize. Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
I'll say two things. I mean, and work helps you to discover yourself. Right? I've never heard that before. And secondly, you need to work hard for the grace of God to take evidence in your life. For me, it's a whole new, I'll say concept and idea that I now have to put in place for people to see God's work in my life.
Thank you. Yes.
So, the grace of God can be frustrated
That work.
Yes.
With laziness.
The grace of God can be frustrated with that work. And if you're not working up 14 to 16 hours a day, you're not working to achieve.
No. You're not working
enough to achieve. Okay. And also, we should stand on the shoulders of others to be able to see ahead.
All right.
No, but there's a question I want to ask for.
Go ahead.
Okay.
No, you're
I want to know in Revelations,
okay.
Book of Revelation 7, they mentioned a certain number. That was 144,000. 144,000 in the Bible. That will make heaven.
That will make heaven. Still among.
Is this number symbolic for?
No, for Jews, not for everybody. For the Jews, not for everybody. Just note the plan church for the Gentiles, for the Jews are different. So you have a different plan for the Jews, different program for the church, and for the Gentiles. Do you understand? So because some people, we say that no heaven anywhere, that it's only for the 4 Jews that will make it to heaven. And yes, go ahead.
I learned something peculiar today because it's what everyone has been reiterating. Laziness frustrates the grace of God.
Go ahead.
So laziness frustrates the grace of God. So if like someone is giving you, let's say, resources or opportunity to make action, and then intentionally or lazy or just carelessly just choosing to give, it can make me withdraw what I'm giving to you. It can frustrate it. And then I also learned that there are systems, there are processes and people that make work progress faster.
So I didn't get that?
There's a system of processes and people that can make your work progress.
Yes.
And then also something like following what Paul was majorly teaching about. Labored abundantly. And the more you labor, the more you start as I was putting more energy, I was having more energy inside. So it did it to the point that except you put the amount of work you put, you cannot get to where you got to. Like you made the limelight of something like phenomenal, something that we all hope to achieve. And I also believe that the reign of blessing to come until you are ready to work. So without without Adam and Eve in the garden, if rain falls, the crops just be growing that fast and there's nobody to maintain it. But when they came in, the rain started falling and they started nurturing the plants. So when we are ready to do the work that God has planned for us, then we can now see the rain of grace and mercy and everything that we need.
Until man to till the ground, rain did not fall. Because God will not waste his resources. Yes, John. Yeah, okay. Two of you, yes. Hold on, John, yes. Why do you think that? Oh, trusting God. Why do they think
Yes.
It's what they hear. It's what they hear. So it's like if a pastor just pray. A pastor can do that because he will get tithe and offering every Sunday. But he will tell you to do what he will do. Because he's in his area of calling. If he's delivering value, he trusts God, he'll bring an offering every Sunday. You don't have an offering every Sunday. You don't have that. You have to walk. He is working by preaching to you. That's his work. But he talks to you like that's. You are not supposed to do any other work. But he is doing his work. So the reason why he's being blessed is because he's working. Because by preaching, he's doing his work. But he's saying you should trust and not do anything. So he preached to you like you are him. So the reason why Nigeria is the way it is because of what we hear every Sunday. Period. If what we hear every Sunday change, and we are going to begin to hear what will help us to discover ourselves and grow, Nigeria will change. What we hear every Sunday as Africans is terrible. Some people go for sensationalism every Sunday. So the man of God can demonstrate another miracle. You need to see what's happening in the law of assembly every Sunday. So people are really not going to learn. All they tell them is exactly what you're saying. So four things influence any society. 4. Pulpit, religious institution, media, family, school. Unfortunately, media, family, school are influenced by religious institutions because all of them go to church or go to mosque. So what Nigeria has become today is what we hear from school, from the media, from religious organization, and from the family itself. That's why Nigeria is like this. So if we change what we hear, particularly religious organization, that people are not meant to depend only on miracle again, but the need for them to work, society will begin to change. Imagine if everybody is hearing the fact that they need to discover themselves and find the area of calling and begin to live to bless. Do you know how Nigeria will change? Look, you will be shocked at the way Nigeria will change. Yes.
And anyways, they will tell you that when you start working, you now do things your own strength, depending on yourself, depending on God.
But I didn't get that.
When you start working and doing things like acquiring knowledge, doing all of those things are necessary. They'll tell you that you're now depending on your own strength instead of depending on God.
Oh, by learning.
Yes.
No. Sometimes when we asking myself, we read the same Bible. Obviously, that's how I conclude that people choose to believe what they want to believe, or they are not reading the Bible. See what Jeremiah was emphasizing right now. Paul said he labored more abundantly than they all. He said, study to show thyself approved. So, Proverbs was talking about knowledge, wisdom, understanding. He said, in all thy getting, get understanding. So, with all that in scripture, someone will say, you're not supposed to develop yourself. That means you are, what did you say it means again? You are relying on yourself by learning. Can you hear people's belief system? You see that belief system? That's exactly the way people think. And he must have heard it from someone. He must have heard it from someone. That by developing your... So why did he go to school? No, why did he go to school? You should have depend on God. You will become a doctor. Just stay in the house and depend on God. No, I'm serious. Why did he go to school? If you went to school to become a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer that gave you that position today, and you don't think learning more is what will make you to grow, that depending on God alone is what will make you to grow, I don't understand. But that's exactly how people think. That's the prevailing thinking in our society today. And it's causing big... That's why Nigeria is not developing. No? That's why Nigeria is not developing. You know, we're at the end of the year now. People have started prayer now since... Till... And they've been doing that for the last 5 years. Nothing has changed. And it doesn't click that. It's like this thing is not working. Not because of God's not that prayer, but they are not completing it with work. They're not completing it with work. So that that prayer becomes very effective. They are expecting to do everything. And of course, God will not compromise his principle. Only that when things does not change, people don't ask questions. If we ask questions, that's why a lot of older generations are cross with your generation. They are cross with you. You guys ask questions too much. They feel that, why do they ask questions like this? Why? They are not used to asking those questions. So people just, that's why look, we are not sure, like the world is not sure yet of what is coming, particularly church, because of the question that younger are asking that nobody are ready to answer. And you will keep asking. When they fail to answer, people will find answer in atheism or in African traditional religion or somewhere else. Because we are not answering those questions. You know, sometimes when I hear some of these things, it's just amazing. Because you just hear perspective of what is keeping people where they are. Yes, I'm coming. Let me hear. Okay. Laziness.
I know laziness is the factor. I don't know factor.
Not discovering it. Not developing it. Because if you don't discover it, discovering it now, then developing it makes a lot of sense. But I think it's more of laziness. Particularly for those that have discovered it but refuse to develop it. Yes. Wrong mindset that make them to... Yes, it's not necessary.
Sorry for asking too much questions.
Sorry
for asking too much questions.
Asking
too much questions. But these are actually some of the questions personally I get. These are some of the questions personally I get. Like someone just actually ask me the question. And if I'm not really rooted and if I don't know what to say, I'll really look stupid. All right, someone once asked me that if Jesus died on the cross and spent, I think, 3 days in hell, understand, to pay for the sins, understand, why then do we still have to pay for our sins? Why do we still have to pay for our sins? Yes, as in when someone dies now and he has sin, he dies in sin. That's where he's going is hellfire. So if he has paid for our sins already, you see that the sacrifice is not worthy enough.
You pay for it. You still have to accept. It's not automatic now. You need to accept. You need to exercise the same will you used to do sin, the same will you need to accept it, confess your sin, and repent. If you don't accept it, then so the payment can be made already. Just
to accept it.
Yes. Who was next to speak? Give it Grace. I think Grace has not spoken.
Like I learned, okay, that clarity comes in the doing. So a proof that you're clear.
After clarity.
It proves that you're clear on whatever it is that you will have to work on as a result of the action that you are taking. So you are taking an action because you are clear. So, and about work, you know, people who used to know me, or let me my heart, or they used to think that I work too much.
Who said that?
They used to think that I work too much. So people around me, yes. So they will say, you're working too much. This one. You know, and not just me, to some other people who like they spend long hours working, either on their job or their work. I don't know.
If they know me, I'm wondering if they say you work too much. I'm talking about what they will say about me.
So people that spend long hours on their job or their work, they used to say that these people work too much and they do this. And I want to clear the notion. You know, from what you have thought of now, you said you should spend at least 16 hours on your craft, either your job or your work. It's not nice if you know that this person is really not giving out the results that he's supposed to give out, and then you are around the person because you see that the person has worked or has improved the number of working hours that he works. Then you are around the person, you begin to hide the person and say, person is working too much, person is working too much. Yeah, people around you say it, and somehow that person might have not developed that, courage or develop enough strength to silence the voices.
To develop himself to ignore. Because he can see the wretchedness of the soul of the I'm serious. Until you see the wretchedness in their soul and just see that these people are so ignorant. So immediately you know they're ignorant. Like, you can't even argue. Because some people, no matter the argument, they can't see. Arguing is pointless. So immediately you realize that. Go ahead.
So just to say that people here. So if you see people work and you feel that this person was doing more than this, but because the person has moved from point A, for instance, person works for 3 hours, person has increased to like working for 5 hours. You're like, it's fine, and everything. You shouldn't say that to people who are working. So instead, tell them they should be conscious of their health. So
I think that's
they don't crash.
Yes. Relationship with people like what? So what you create, let's say for let's be now. That means plus 620. About 4 hours. It's not about 4 hours. It's not about 4 hours. I know it's a 4 hours. If it's important, create time for it. If you're not creating time, it's very so if you feel I develop relationship with my spouse, why not? And I think it's good. But that's not what you have to. So, like you said, gain more time, maybe on maybe. But it's very important. Balance. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Some people are busy working hard and busy. You are busy when you are not. You are just busy doing nothing. Because at the end of the day, all you are working on is pointless. It's not contributing to why you are here. So you are just busybody in other men's matter. It's just busybody in other men's matter. So to really be working in the real sense of the word is to be working in your area of calling. That's why I said, if you take off a job, you must find a way that job relates to what you ultimately want to do. If it doesn't relate, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, really. So that even while you're working to keep body and soul together, you are learning for what you ultimately want to do. If that is not there, then it's pointless doing it. It doesn't make sense. So at the end of the day, that means even though I'm working, what I'm doing is contributing to what I ultimately want to do. So that means if I live in 5 years, in 10 years, I've already started. Only that now I'm doing it myself, but I've already laid foundation for what I'm going to do. For example, you are working in an organization, you are working in marketing. Marketing and sales is the most, if anything you are going to do, you are going to market and sell. Anything you are going to do, you are going to market and sell. But if you are in operation, it's worse. Like bankers, some people will be in teller, posting cash. And you do that for 5 years. You know those skills that you can't use outside banking, so useless outside banking. So that means you, after 5 or 10 years in banking, you have not learned anything. You are just like someone that just finished from school, because that skill is useless everywhere outside banking. That person has not learned anything, just wasted his time. The same period, if he has a colleague in marketing for 5 years, that person will have learned how to talk to people, convince people, get accounts, get business. So when he starts whatever it is he's doing, he already have learned how to market. So it's extremely important that anything you do, you must take a job to be able to put body and soul together, to get ready, to be. It must be a way of contributing to what you ultimately do. Because if the only thing you are doing is just to make money, it's going to be a wasted year. Because I mean, some people who do that for, they will now be 50. They will now just want to start. 50. Then in the course of January, I will discuss issue around time. So you understand the fact that I'm looking for the word to use. It's a disservice to you, to yourself, to your life, to spend productive years doing things that is not within your area of calling. It's a disservice to yourself. Because at the end of the day, that means the time you have used to achieve so much, it's wasted. And you know what? A lot of people in society, that's exactly how they do. Unfortunately, they don't even know. They don't even know. Yes, okay. Emmanuel, yes. No, so John, you have spoken. You have not spoken. Go ahead.
What good is it? Okay, you spoke something about will.
About
will. You've been given either to choose here or to choose here. So what good is it to have free will when the intention is not for us to use it? Because the intention is actually for us not to use it. The intention is actually for us not to use it.
Not to
yes, because the intention now, all I'm trying to say. Let me just read. Okay, let me just read it because I always write. Okay, so what good is it for us to have free will if the intention is for us not to use it? Understand?
I don't.
Okay. We have the intention. We have the option either to choose kill or not to kill. Now we chose not to kill because that is what God said we should not do. And like you said, He has given us a free will. We can also kill. But when we not kill, we not choose this one that He said this one kill, we'll still be punished.
Yes, now because you are giving option to choose right or wrong. So you are allowed to if you right choose wrong, you get punished for it. Yes, now if you choose right, choose left. The reason why is so that when you choose one, I'm not the one, I'm a robot. When you're not a robot, you get the consequences of reaction.
So you know why you are saying is that right or wrong because of your mind, of the mind. Like yesterday you said it's not changing of mind, but changing of decision. Now this in the mind now, this part for you is not good, but for me it's
what's that? Killing
somebody.
So if you give up a baby and tell me now, we're just hiding behind one. Yeah. We are choosing them. And not choosing. Not choosing. Yeah. Choosing not to choose.
Okay, now,
Yeah.
sorry, let me just, since I'm with this too. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Okay, now, final. So this is the final question. All right, now, what is the most merciful?
Is what?
What is the most merciful? What is merciful? Now, if you go back to the story of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yes, in Sodom and Gomorrah, when Lot's wife looked back, if God is very merciful, why did he turn out to put out salt?
The mercy of God escape from that place.
Now, the mercy of God made them escape.
And they disobeyed him.
People that disobey also still they have mercy. People that disobey still have mercy. If they have, and so that's what you say. That God tries to have mercy on you.
And I like that. That was very
I'm really happy that you are here. Because I'm really surprised at the way you're answering questions. Why are you surprised? Maybe I'll come and meet you personally for that. Yeah, the question is, how do I develop an interest or love in what I am not enjoying or feeling its vibe, but I'm eager to know or do? Why do you want to? I'm not just feeling the vibe. Like whenever I want to do it, I'm just feeling. So why do you want to do that? Why? Because it would be helpful for me. So if it's something, let me give you an example. Okay, sir. I believe I'm wrong to something, but for me to be, I need to promote it. I need to learn marketing. I don't like marketing. Yes, of course, I need to discipline myself to learn marketing because else I want to achieve my vision. I want to achieve my goal. I want to achieve my goal. And so I need to discipline myself to do it. That's me. There's some things in life you like it, you don't like it. Nobody likes writing exams. Nobody likes writing exams. Nobody likes writing exams. But you know you must write exams. So you have to do it because you need it for advancement. So you don't need to like it. In fact, many things that make you progress in life, you don't like it. Many things that determine your advancement are not things you enjoy to do. So you have to do it anyway because if you don't do it, bad progress. That's bad progress. No progress. Pass our mind, please. Yes. Yes.
John, I have a question.
Yes.
About meditation.
Meditation, okay.
Yes. I find it difficult to meditate on the word of God.
Oh, you find it difficult? Okay.
Yes. What can I go about? What can I do about?
What do you say you find it difficult?
I know my brother whenever he's walking on the street. He's always meditating. I know my brother. Every time he's going on the street, like he's always meditating.
When time
he's going on the street, he's always meditating. So like a lot of scriptures come to his head and connected. Connected.
It's connected.
So like I want to.
I don't understand. As a scripture, you want to wrap content of it. You basically think about it. Imagine. Say it, hear it, imagine it. So, I'm looking for one. If they obey and serve him, they shall spend their day in prosperity and their year in pleasure. So if you begin to think about that, if they obey and serve him, what does it mean? There are many Christians that seems to obey and serve, but they're not. They're spending their days in poverty and their years in frustration. So, what is the issue? What is the issue? You are asking questions. You ask questions. What could be the problem? That means there is something about the obedience and service that they don't get, because the scripture is true. So you're thinking about it. So what does it mean to serve? More often than not, if you're finding answer, it's good you hear what Jesus has to say. What does it mean to serve? And Jesus gave an example of what it means to serve him. If they obey and serve him. So what does it mean to obey? What are we obeying really? Is he obeying not to kill, or not just obeying their commandment, or obeying what? Do you understand? So you need to, in meditating, you asking questions and finding answer. Asking questions and also imagining. Does it make sense? Grace, are you trying to ask a question? Yes. Yes, I won't be able to. It's archaic English. Is it okay? Okay, yes. Okay.
If you don't have understanding of something, you might not be able to go deep on that stuff. But then I think it's also dependent on the raw materials you've been able to gather about such an angle of thought. So this is where we as Bible scholars, we read outside the Bible also to complement what the Bible has. So that's for me on that note. Then quickly, I have two questions. I hope I can two questions. Just two. One is for the general people here. Because we've been talking about preparation for dispatch of our gifts, for like deployment of our gifts for our career calling. Now, for how long does one need to keep preparing? Because I've met some people over the years and they keep saying you have preparing. Like some started and at the point in time they stop. They say they have to go back to the drawing board, saying they need to prepare more before they. For how long do you keep preparing for this kind of stuff? For how long does one need to keep preparing before deployment of this towards one
how long do you need to prepare? Immediately you have clarity. As soon as you have clarity, start. As I said, clarity is the kind of clarity. Immediately you are clear on what to do, start.
Okay, for me, I think over the years, and for me now,
that is not stopping.
Yes. Now, clarity, because when people are looking at clarity as a term for perfection.
No. Clarity. No.
That's the problem. So people are looking at that word for perfection.
You never have a perfect understanding. You just need to be clear as to how do I go about it. Sometimes you don't know. Someone spoke to me. He wants to leave his job. He's frustrated. He's in a unit and they are doing a lot of politics in that unit to edge him out. He doesn't want to wait till the time they will let him go before he leaves. So we spoke. I said, so what are you doing? When do you want to leave? That for me, I think what the policy they are playing is God telling you that it's time to leave. He said he knows that he knows. But he has a lot of bills to pay. So I told him that, okay, you're in IT. Which area of IT? What do you really want to do? He said, I love to help people. That I can't stand people being in need, but I don't have all the means because I have my responsibility. So you've discovered your area of calling. You're going to be like Cocoon Foundation, supporting and helping the needy. But you need money. So the business now, you need to do a business now to fund it. So now say, okay, you're an IT person. Which area are you developing in an area? And I say, it's depending on it's machine learning. Fantastic, machine learning. And I told him about an area, what someone is doing machine learning that I've enjoyed his service in advertisement. And he said, yes, you're already doing it. And I said, so why don't you just complete it? Maybe you finish it, set up a business, get someone you work with to start doing advertisement. Because immediately you finish, you have the skill already. So you are not asking when to start. You already have what it takes to start now. So it's just to start. But when to start, so when to leave now will depend on how long will you want this business to continue before you leave. What are the critical factors that make you to leave? Immediately the business are making money, you have clients. It's time to leave. It's time to leave. It's time to leave. So you're already now, okay, if the business is already making 50% of what you earn, by the time you leave, you won't be spending as much as you spend when you were there now. So why can't you now focus on it? You're not focusing 100%, you're already earning 50. By the time you focus 100%, you earn much more. And the area he's looking at is, I will even be one of his clients if he eventually does that thing. Because it's going to help a lot of small businesses in target marketing, prospecting. So immediately you have clarity as to the value to be delivered, the people to deliver it to, and there are indications of interest in the value you are delivering. It's time to start. And I told him to start, just render free service, free service, free service, free service. Build credibility with free service. Immediately people know you begin to charge. Anybody that, if you help them get 100 prospects, they will be convert 10. They will pay for the remaining. Because now they know it works. They know it works. So you can never have a perfect time. There's no perfect time. If we get away for perfect time, we won't have Windows 94, 95, 97, 98, 2000, XP, we won't have all that. How many of you use Windows 95? I used Windows 95. It was terrible compared to Windows 12 or Windows 10. But then it was amazing. I remember when me and my friend were playing game with their own computer. And when I was in Lagan, I would go to third floor to go and learn computer appreciation. You know, I remember that time, when they were giving us orientation, they said there's computer, you can come and learn computer. So every time I finish lecture, I'll go there and go and learn. I'll go to the library, go spend 1 hour, 2 hours every day. And I realized that we are the same people that come every day in the old school. We know ourselves already. The computer is there. Very good go. They gave us, hey, there is video here for anatomy. Only few people go there. So it's like opportunity is there for you to learn, but people choose not to. People choose not to. People choose not to. So don't wait for a perfect time. There's never a perfect time. You will not find a perfect time. And those computers at that time were Windows 95, Windows 97. They were not archaic. Even though if you put this guy, the guy will do wah, 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 wah. This guy, how many of you know this guy? Some people don't even know this guy here. Some people don't even know this guy. Some people don't even know how this guy look like. Can you imagine? You put this guy, he will do This guy 1.4 MB. Yeah, I bought 100 MB flash drive. Hey, I can flame many files. 100 MB flash drive. Can you? Zip drive. I didn't use zip drive from this guy. Advanced disket. Okay, yes, it's bigger a little. I bought flash drive 100 MB. When I bought 256, 256 MB because you can put so many things inside. So many things, 256 MB. Because that time, flash disket is 1.4 MB. 1.4. One, you can't put more than one file. If the file is too like you enter, you do So if you get admitted for this, it will now. So all that are just an advancement in life. You can, and there's nothing human created that will be perfect. That imperfection is the source of the next invention. There's nothing, there's always a way of improving on anything that man creates. That imperfection is the energy of the next invention. In the day we are able to perfect any product, the world is coming to an end. Because there's nothing for the upcoming generation to do. There's nothing else. There's no more work. Is that to go to heaven? Yes. I'll come to you. I told you that your question I'm not in there. I know. I'm coming to you. Yes.
That someone would find
yes
himself in the wrong with
not major success. What you can see compared to the man, I mean, of philanthropy. So the man saw philanthropy is speaking at an event. He's a director at this time. Was crying. So Fela was a picture of what ideal life would be supposed to be. But back to not allowing him. He was crying. Director of a bank, that's the highest. What else are you doing? That's the director of the Correct? It's very possible.
For you, you just find success. For him.
No. You just have to paint a picture to validate what you are saying that is possible. He knows that's not success for him, but he has to see a picture of what he could have been for him to realize that, this is big, but I was thinking, how would I just be talking to people? Just eating. No man. And then, so it's very, very possible to be successfully doing the wrong thing. Successfully doing the wrong thing. Yes. Yes, and go ahead now. Oh yeah, fast, so we can finish on time. No problem. Today is wash night. You want to do wash night here? Go ahead. Okay. What do you mean by fail? Define failure.
First one is you have to increase suffering because
is that failure? You define it as failure. That's not failure. That's consequences of action.
Consequences of action. Okay, the second one was when you know that the prayer people at the Tower of Babel, when you're getting towards heaven, and you have to send down the different tongues and they were distracted. Okay? Then if in the beginning, since God knew that angels have to how I do this now. If the angels have the capacity to define it,
why did he create them? If children of men have tendency to disobey him, if the children of men have propensity to disobey him, why did he create mankind? That's like asking that question. Not every one of them will disobey him. So those that will disobey will exercise their will and disobey. No problem. Then we found out. I like that question. We found out in it. Just work together so you can ask. Grant.
There is something.
I'm coming.
No, it's not a question. Okay. But there's something I like about what you just did. Because there's something about it. If you send them,
you send them.
If you like,
why would you send them away?
That's the thing. There's some when they ask you questions. I'm not trying to give them.
A number of cases are sincere.
When they ask
a number of them are sincere.
Just try as much as possible
to answer. Even if not at the factory, it will strike a chord that will make them to think. Yeah. Grant, yes. what?
What? Discover your.
Help you to discover yourself and discover what you can do, unravel yourself and build yourself. But you don't understand. Okay, so have you been given a task before and you were surprised at the way you did when you did it? So that means, but for that work, you don't even know you can do that work or do that better until you do it. Next time when that comes, you just say, I can do this, I can do better. So it makes you know how much you can do and how great your work can be. And the more you do it, the better you get. The more you do it, the better. That's why when I'm working, I don't like a repeat task. If I'm doing something and I need to do it, I just want to do it for a way of maybe I have to copy it. I'll be thinking, is that no? And I'll realize there's a way. If I can't, I just go online. I know someone else. Before you don't realize, I was in the bank. We were looking for customers. So every week, CBN will publish the list of importer in Nigeria. And those are my target customers. Importer in Nigeria and the foreign they buy. And I need to, and those are target customers. But they're in paper. But I need to send it to my marketers to be able to follow up on them because their target is my target. My own target is target of global trade. So this newspaper, I will make for the copy. I can't be typing it too much. I will scan it. I will not say, this was 2008. How can, is it not possible for me to, there will be something that will cover this scan word to word in arguments. And I found it. So here, I Google, I found it. And I convert it, go out to you. Maybe 95% complete. The other one that the scan is not clear, so it's new show. I'll come to them and try to. So, but if I don't try to solve that problem, I will even know it can be done. I will even know it can be done. So that's the mindset. Trying to solve problems, trying to work, attempting different tasks, and then you just discover that this can be done. And you have to rapporteur of what you can do, and how competent you are.
Canada 2007.
2007.
Yes.
Canada will do what?
That will convert your stance
To what? I didn't know. Any other question? Okay, let me hear from others, please. We still have 2-3 people that have not spoken. Chidi, glory and glory. She doesn't glory. Glory and glory, but she prefer Uche. Uche Jukumeri. Yes.
So for me, from first day, second day to today, it's been a journey for me. Most of it has been reinforcing what I've known and challenging me to execute more and also giving me people of like minds that I can work with and like. So spend much time, but I also asked a particular question that I could not answer when someone asked. That's a question that I could not answer correctly or completely. I could not answer it completely. So the question of someone asked me. There's a question of man, right? Soul, spirit, and body. I understand that man is the spirit being, right? Has a soul and lives in a body. So I was asked, when man dies, what happens? So the response I gave was, okay, of course, the spirit returns back to the creator. But I couldn't answer the question of the soul, since I know that the body will stay on earth. So I want to get your perspective.
There are views about the fact that the soul is activated because the spirit entered the body. So when the spirit leaves, the soul also is useless. It's non-existent. But it's only useful. It's in between the body and the spirit. So it's the seat of intelligence. So there must be a brain for soul. There must be a mind. To express emotion, there must be a body. So the soul is activated as a result of the spirit inside the body. So the real man, and that's what Even though it's something I think they talk about the soul, the tablet, because the spirit actually orchestrated the existence of the soul, which is the seat of the will, mind, and the emotion. Yes, glory. Yes. Can we, no, just to get to the point. Okay. Okay. And what you just said is very important. What I'm doing, what is it? Am I working for myself or I'm working because of him? So what is the motivation behind the work? What is the motivation? What's driving everything? If there's one thing I need to go back to, not just discover ourselves, but to be able to do the work to develop ourselves, but more importantly, to deploy it to claim our work. I think it's the most important. So, Inventia, living the best kind of life in 2021 will require us discovering ourselves. It's so important. It's relegated to the background in society. And that explains the reason why we have so much challenge, issue, problem, and frustration. That explains it. And if we are going to not to be part of that block, then we must, of necessity, do all within our power. You can say, do all within our power to be able to ensure that what we have learned we put into practice. Because sincerely, if we don't put into practice, it just be a waste of time. It will be an effort in futility. Some of us have been around since Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. For me, it's a good time, a good way to spend the remaining part of the year, actually. It's a good time. So it's a good time to spend the remaining part of the year thinking, planning, learning, having enough to go and shoot. So for the next 7 days, it's left for us to go and think through. We're rounding up. So you can switch it up. Think through on what we have learned and then put them into practice. All right, before we go,